Let's do this. Hey, everybody. Welcome to tuning into the program. My name is James. With me is Chris, and this is FuelStopChats. It's a podcast where we talk about, well, anything. We try to talk about motorcycles, but not always. So tune in, enjoy, and hope you like it. Good evening, everybody. Just a short disclaimer. If Chris's voice or video goes a little crazy, it's because he used to be an IT guy, but he's not an IT guy anymore. He's a roofing guy. So he can't fix it with a hammer or a screwdriver. I don't know.
Don't fix it.
We tried to start an earlier show, and then it just sort of went sideways. But Chris was pointing out a pretty important thing for those up in the Northeast. Chris, why don't you go ahead and go through that real quick?
Yeah, just fall color rides, man. Get them in, get them quick. It was 64 today. Man, the colors are magnificent. You got about a week or so, and then it's going to be gone. It's just going to be a bunch of bare limbs. But the past 2 weeks, man, stunning. And safety, always make sure the leaves are blowing around. You don't want to hit any of those wet leaves stuck on the road. They can be a little slick.
No, not at all. We were getting some leaves when I was up in North Carolina in September. We were getting some leaves that were coming down. Some of the different varietals were dropping earlier, and it's always my favorite video when I'm riding or behind people, and the leaves are either there's a good gust of wind. I was going up. We were riding up through the Smoky Mountain National Park, and there was a big gust of wind, and it blew all these leaves off the trees, and you're watching the bikes in front of you go through them as they're coming off. It's just gorgeous. And then, yeah, like you were saying, with the swirly marks. So when you're riding behind somebody and the turbulence off that rear wheel is just pushing the leaves out, and then they're circling back and coming in on themselves. It's just gorgeous. But like you said, it can get very, very slick, very, very quick. So be careful, but get out there and enjoy it.
Yeah, I actually like it when it's crisp in the morning and the leaves are kind of crackly.
Yeah.
Dry.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to, if you're not up in the Northeast and you don't have the foliage, boy, oh boy.
Then you need to go.
It's stunning. Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous.
And if you've never gone before, if you're down here in Florida like I am, and have never really experienced a good fall ride, there's just nothing better. You really have to plan it out. If you can take 2 weeks and get yourself up into Maine in the second week of October, and then start migrating your way down. You hit the White Mountains, you hit the Green Mountains, you make your way down into Pennsylvania, down into Virginia, and then take the Blue Ridge Skyway the whole way down, or Blue Ridge Parkway, sorry, all the way down to Cherokee, North Carolina. It would be one hell of a stunning trip, and definitely one that you would never forget.
Yeah, last year Tammy and I, we took the car. Well, actually, we took the truck, and I'm glad we did. We were going to take the Camaro and do a little weekend getaway thing. We went up north and then started across 6, which is one of America's scenic byways, and then you ride down through the PA Grand Canyon. And we had stopped for breakfast at this little place, stayed at a pretty cool little lodge, stopped for breakfast, great breakfast, and then went down what's marked as the state park route. And I noticed the map keeps going, but the state park map stops at the last little pull off and overlook. And I said, you know what? You feel adventurous? And she's like, yeah, I mean, we're in a 4-wheel drive Tacoma. It'll go anywhere. Let's go.
Yeah.
And so we did. And we ended up going from a 2-track to a single track. and winding down switchbacks till we got to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And we're driving in the bottom, little brook along the side, and you've got these massive hills on both sides with
Oh.
just the most amazing color. And it was probably an hour of that, and just stopping and looking at pictures, some old homes. The guys were out filling some potholes, the highway department, and then you got to pass them in one lane. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the Pennsylvania trails that, if you pay for your ATV license, you can get a map of all these off-road trails, hundreds of miles of trails in Pennsylvania that you can ride. $10 a year, and the starting point for one of those is at the base, the southern end of the PA Grand Canyon. And so, before they close it for winter, I'd like to get up there on an ATV and take a six
Oh
pack.
yeah.
Uh, Not a six pack. If you're listening, park rangers, it would be filled with sandwiches and water.
Yes.
Yeah, and just enjoy the day riding up through the woods when the colors are like that. But I think they shut it down before the colors really get nice, so might not be able to do that in the fall, that late in the fall.
I'm
Anyway, I
not.
just
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure if you've ever ridden this, but I know Ro and I went up. We drove it as we had Providence with us, and we went into San Francisco late October, early November, but we went up um, Sonoma Valley, maybe about an hour up. Did a couple wine tours, but we went up over the mountain range into Napa.
hmm
And when we crested that hill mountain and all of the vineyards laid out below us, it was like a quilt of patchwork because each one of the varietals of the different grapes had a different color leaf and they were all changing at the same time. And it was just these perfect boxes of these different colors. It was one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen. And if
do
you've
that
ever
in the
been able to get
spring.
up there, oh yeah, with
Do
all
it
that, I'm sure.
when those things blossom in the spring,
Oh, the
before they
smell is
start.
just to be
Oh,
amazing.
yeah, it's pretty spectacular too.
It's the
But
only time I like to
there's
ride in Florida is spring because you get the orange blossoms and you
oh
have
yeah,
you just it's such an overpowering perfume that fills the air of those orange blossoms blossoming and the
yeah,
just it's no better way to smell it than in a helmet.
yeah. It's funny. We were talking about this the other day. We've got some honeysuckle that's getting pretty pervasive along the back
Mm.
hedgerow, and I'll be mowing the grass, and every once in a while that smell wafts up, and it's
Mhm.
like it takes you right back to, I remember this road. I was on this hill, and I could smell that, and then
That's
going
how
up to
jasmine
Benicia.
is for me.
Oh yeah,
Jasmine always takes me back.
yeah. The other place that has that distinct kind of an odor that's relatable is if you've ever ridden Lolo Pass
I
from
have
Lolo,
not.
Montana to Lewiston, Idaho. Um, Once you crest they tell you when you make that right turn or left turn, whichever way you're going, but you turn on to the road that's going to take you down to Lewiston, Idaho. They tell you it's 180 miles to gas. So right after you make that turn, there's a filling station. Stop there and top off. I don't care how much you think you got, top off. But when you crest the hill at the visitor center, you start down the mountain, you're riding downhill with this beautiful river alongside and just massive evergreens. And the smell of that evergreen, man, it was just magical. And you get those you get those big sweepers, and you get the guys out there with their waders on, and they're out there fly fishing,
Mm,
and
mm,
just
mm.
incredibly picturesque, bucolic to the nth degree. So anyway, it's amazing the sights and smells and things that you can enjoy from a bike that just it's just not the same in a car. But
You don't get it in a car. If
it's
you might be lucky to get some of the sense.
if you get the window cracked, but nowadays all the in cabin filters, really cut a lot of that out. Now, you run over a skunk or polecat, you're thankful that you have that.
Or you have, well, The one filter thing that the only scent that I can't find a filter for is when somebody is partaking in what used to be illicit acts, but now with many states having it legalized, and I don't have a problem with it being legalized. I'm not saying that, but holy shit, that stuff stinks, and it just so strong. I mean, I've gotten high in many a car in high school, and I don't ever remember it smelling that strong.
Yeah.
When you
I
can
don't
smell it
know.
from the car in front of you, it's pretty bad.
I think it's, it's the new strains. I don't know what it is, but you're right. I mean, we would call it ditchweed back in the day if it stunk
Sure,
like
skunk
that.
weed. Yeah.
Now nowadays everybody's like, "Oh no, this is the best stuff ever," and it's like, is it though? Is it really
I
though?
don't ever want to get that high. Yeah.
I still every time somebody talks about getting high, I just Cheech and Chong. The car
Oh,
is high centered on the median, and it's full of smoke. You can't even see him through the windows. Cop knocks on the door and says, "Let me see your license." Cheech goes,
it's
"Ain't
back there on the
you think I
bumper,
come
man.
in?"
If you are in your 50s and cannot read and male, I'll preface it with that, and cannot recite that entire movie, you didn't have a good childhood.
yeah, yeah, I would say, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not in my 50s, but yeah,
Well, you used to be.
I used to be in IT too, but I'm not.
So, funny story on that. I remember the first time I heard that album, it was on a tape. My cousin Johnny, he played it for me. I must have been 12 or 13 at the time. And I didn't understand a lot of it, but I knew that everybody else around that boombox, because that's what we were listening it on, was laughing, that I had to laugh. That okay, this is funny.
Yeah,
And then a lot of it I caught later. I was like, oh, on the bumper in the back, that means the license plate. Got it. You know, it was shit
yeah.
like that that
What are you
I just
smoking?
didn't. Yeah, I just
Doberman.
didn't get it.
Doberman. Yeah, man, dog ate my stash. I had to follow it around for a week to get my dope back. Oh, classics. Anyway, you're right.
Yeah.
The aroma can be a little bit
Yes.
funky.
Yes.
Um,
More so than a cigar. I'll tell you that much.
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Something that smells great's a pipe, but I just never could get into smoking a pipe.
They smell wonderful, but they don't taste like they smell.
Not even close.
I've tried because I was like, oh, I would love to have that taste.
Oh yeah,
And then
cherry
I tried it. I was like,
flavor, apple
what
flavor.
the fuck is this?
Yeah.
This is not what I was expecting for an experience.
No, no,
Eh,
not the same.
nope.
And it's kind of a pain in the butt too. My brother smokes a pipe once in a while, down to deer cabin. He'll pull it out once in a while, and any fumble fits a foot, and the next thing you know, he's smoking a cigarette. you know, You're like, I'm done with this, and so I'm over it. Ah man, but I saw the picture over your shoulder there of your vintage BMW bike picture, and made a swing through the Barber Museum
I
on the way back.
saw.
Yeah, dude.
I was a little jealous.
Duh, man. They were running the Porsche class out there
Yep.
on the adjacent track,
Always
and
do.
man, I tell you what, I'll tell you how good this museum is, guys. If you haven't been to
Oh my God,
Birmingham,
you have to go.
and by the way, even if you've been there and it's been a few years, go back
Hey,
because they cycle stuff through there. The guy said they had 200 manufacturers represented, and they had another almost twice as many bikes in a. It's kind of like the Smithsonian. Go once a year and see what's rotating through there. But I'll tell you how good this freaking museum is. So we're going to Corpus. Buddy of mine is he's retiring for real this time. So he retired from the army, and then he got a job as a civil servant, GS, and then he retired again. And this was it. This was the retirement. And his daughter contacted me and said, "Do you think you guys could make it down?" And I said, "Oh, for sure."
oh, this is what we had talked about last time, where you said I'm going to see a friend that doesn't know I'm coming.
Going down to Corpus Christi, yeah. And so anyway, we had a great trip, but on the way down, Tammy goes, we're sitting in the room one night, and she goes, "Do you know that the place where the South Fork Ranch where they filmed the TV show Dallas is not that far out of our route?" And I was
Well, you
like,
got to go.
"Well, I mean, so Chris was a single dude in Germany in a band in the peak time that Dallas was on TV."
You don't do it for you.
I know you don't do it for me. I didn't do it for me. I did it for her. I know how much she enjoyed the show, right?
Yeah, and Rhoda would be the same way. I barely remember, but Rhoda loved it.
Yeah. So she thought, oh, this would be cool. And when she means it's not far out of our way, if I said something about a museum and it was more than 30, 45 minutes out of our way, it's way out of our way.
Mm-hmm.
But to go to this place, it's only 4 hours added to the trip. It's right on the way. And so I'm like, you know what? I know what a nut she is for this. My daughter had gone.
Everything in Texas is bigger. Remember?
Well, Sophie had gone down with a girlfriend to I don't mean girlfriend, like I mean I'm an old guy, so when I say
Yeah.
her friend, it's a girl. They went down to see. I know I got to clarify them, they, whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
they went to see a concert at AT&T Stadium, and they had a couple of days to knock around, and they took off in a rental car and went out there to South Fork Ranch because the girls, because of Tammy, had watched Dallas, and the new generation of Dallas had been on, and so they thought that'd be cool. And they got Mom a book, and Tammy's like, I need to go see. I got to go see it for myself. So I went, and by the way, they are adding a couple $1 million complex to host rodeos there. So
Really?
that'd be cool. I think it's supposed to open next year, actually, and they're going to have a venue for weddings, and they're going to have you can stay the night in the house, and so they're doing a lot to this place.
Do we get to shoot JR?
We we did the tour, and on the way back, I said our route takes us through Birmingham, Alabama.
You're stopping.
Yeah, so I said I'm going to go to this museum. What kind of museum? It's motorcycles and cars and stuff like that. And she goes, how far off our path is it? I said, it's not off our path. It's literally like stop for gas and there it is. It's that close to the highway. And besides, I drove 4 hours out of my way to go to. She goes, you're right. I'll go. We walk into the place, and I'm saying this for all 5 dudes that are listening to this.
Yeah.
Go with your wife. She walks in the door. She turns around. She looks at me and she goes, "Oh my God, this is really cool." And she took off. She's taking. I was like, pretty neat, ain't it? She's like, I got to be honest with you, man. This was a.
Yeah. Architecturally, with the building that stuff is housed in, that alone is just awesome.
It's art. It's art. It's
huge,
no longer just about the mechanical bike, and it's art.
Yeah,
those
the
2 wooden bikes, those steam powered motorcycles from 1897. Come on. I mean, it's just absolutely stunningly gorgeous. Death Trap. I would have never rode one.
Oh no! Well, no, I would have because
steam boiler sticking out. You think freaking slashing catching your leg on a head is a little bad. Think about this steam boiler. I was like, these guys had 10-pound balls.
And also, if by chance you do find yourself slightly getting bored at the museum, you could look out the windows, just like where this I think it's the R90 was sitting at, and that's where the Barber racetrack is.
Yep.
And if they're doing a track day out there, either motorcycle or car, you just sit there and watch the cars go by. Yeah. Because you got that huge switchback and elevation change right there next to the windows. It's very reminiscent of Laguna Park.
It does look like Laguna Seca. So the other cool thing about it is while the Barber Museum doesn't have anything to do with the car driving experience, training, whatever, they do own the walkway that walks out over the track.
Yes, they do.
And if you play your cards right, you can get out there and stand on that walkway when the cars are coming around. You don't even have to, experience it from inside through the windows. You can go out there and listen to the noises and watch the rookies go through their training classes, and you know. But anyway,
Also, if you're ever looking for a good track day on your bike, they have track days there, and it's a spectacular roadway. Watson goes all the time.
yeah,
He lives down in the Destin area now, but he drives up. He throws his Ducati in the back of his truck, drives up there for the weekend, and does track days all day long with like 4 sets of tires.
yep. Beautiful place to visit. But very cool museum, so cool that even the wife will be impressed with the place. So
Definitely.
you got to stop. But anyway, I saw that bike up there, and it made me think about the displays they had down there at the museum. And Pat Hanner, if you're listening, the ride that you and I did through Pennsylvania on some of my little favorite roads around here. Right now, the color is like off the charts, man. But it's fading fast. So call me. Let's go. Let me play hooky for a day, and go for a ride.
So for me, you know that my book got released on this weekend,
Yes, sir. Hold a picture.
and
Hold that thing up to the camera
yeah, so
so the cat.
I've been waiting to hear your thoughts because I know that you've already read this, and you said that you sort of wanted to hold off on really talking about it until you could really blast me on this. On I mean, I use small words. If I could have,
Ah,
I could have, just drawn in with crayon, but I ate those. So,
you stretched you had the thesaurus humming.
oh, I had the thesaurus out, but there's a lot of words that I had on repeat too because they stuck in my head.
That
But
happens. Authors do that. I'll read anybody's book. I don't care who it is. They'll latch on to a word, and you'll hear it like chapter, chapter, chapter.
yeah, there was a
Um,
few that when I did the audiobook after reading it out loud, I made several changes, and those
yeah.
made it to what got sent out in the press, not what you read, because you read like one of
Well, I
the
read
earlier
raw.
versions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
version 1, version 2. Yeah. The only place I saw I actually got tickled as I was reading it was the 300 AC.
There's a lot of
Oh,
detail on that weapon.
oh my god, dude! The detail on that thing. I had a buddy of mine who's a gunsmith. I said, I don't want you to read the whole book because he hates reading books. I said, but I do want you to read just these couple pages. And he calls me up and he goes, do you think he covered it? Do you think he covered it? Like maybe you should suggest to your buddy he spends maybe 2 more pages talking about it. But what's funny is I tried explaining this to my wife one time about the scope that I have
Hmm.
and how if you have both eyes open, it projects a holographic crosshair that you see with both eyes as you're scanning, and you can really quickly scan for a target. And then when you think you got one in there, you close that left eye and really draw it in, to get precise. But
Hmm.
for a quick scan, that holographic, what did you call it? You called it side,
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
yeah, side tail or something. I forget. But if you've never experienced that with a really nice scope, it is.
There was a lot of research for that weapon. I went through a lot of different things, from the Delta teams, the SF teams, the SEAL teams, uh, looking at any kind of information that was out there for the guys working the PMOO that are out there with the SAGs. What are they using? What are they buying? What's in Soldier of Fortune magazine? Because a lot of that shit ends up in there. Uh, so there was a lot in that weapon, but I needed to make sure that when I gave the definition of that weapon, that you knew that the person that was going to be handling that was at a completely different level than anything that you've ever come across before.
And it did, clearly.
And his name happened to be Blackie, but it wasn't upon you.
Yeah, no, it wasn't me. But
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 I
anyway,
did. That was a tip of the hat, though, with with the name of Blackie.
I got you. I appreciate it. Now, so the world is, well, I won't say the world. I'll say that as division in the world goes, there's the I'm all excited about AI crowd, and there's the oh my god, the apocalyptic outcome of AI crowd,
Yeah.
and so what the book does is it kind of teases out what if the really good predictions that you see in the marketplace, what if they're right? What if they're even close to right and unemployment hits a 40 or 50% rate? And what happens when uh, general general AI, starts to become more sentient, and
Hmm.
what happens to the systems that it controls, or what happens to the people that have control of those systems and training the algorithms and what could happen. And so fear, panic, pandemonium. There's food shortages. Nobody's working, so and the government can't supply the food lines. This isn't like the rest of the government's flush with cash, right? Um, and so that sets the stage for the book.
So I do find one thing interesting, and it caught me when you were just talking about that, and I think it's something that the five guys that are listening, when you have this discussion with somebody else, when and it's something that it's still trying to resonate with me when I talk about let's say 40% global unemployment. We're not talking about the trades. We're not talking really about blue collar. These are white collar jobs. So imagine, you know, the the normal suburban household that's making $250,000-$300,000 a year between husband and wife, complete house. Imagine those jobs going away. These are the people that are going to get unemployed first because you can't teach AI how to swing a hammer, not accurately. The trades are going to be there. The problem is going to be the trades rely on those white collar people to provide jobs to them. A lot of times, I know that you can
Don't
just
you don't you dare introduce Reagan trickle down economics, bro. Don't you say it. Don't you say it. We know it's true.
but we know it's true.
We know it's true. I, I,
And
I had some gutters put on a garage. I thanked the guy, and the guy says, "No, thank you for the work, man." This is 2008. Times were sucky, you know.
yeah,
Uh, here's a stat though to tie into that. Let's say there's 40% global unemployment and predominantly white collar unemployment, which in turn will lead to no factory jobs. No, it will trickle down, right? The blue
yeah.
collar guys will take a beating. But what's really interesting is in the United States, over half of the revenues collected by the government are paid in by only 5 to 8% of the population.
Hmm.
If that 5 to 8% is in that 40%, now think about the devastation to the economy from that perspective. Here in
Yeah.
the United States, that would be catastrophic.
Yes.
Catastrophic. And the thing is, dude might know his way around a spreadsheet, but I bet you he couldn't fumble fiddle fart around the garden and feed himself.
Nope.
So anyway, this is the discussion that then said, okay, let's launch the book. Here's the story, and what I two takeaways. One, I liked the introduction, and you and I talked about why, not what's going to happen, and but why, and get more why in there, so that people aren't just hammered with statistics, but they're starting to get into the character development. They're getting into the understanding of what's going on in the macro environment in the world, and it makes it more plausible.
Mm-hmm.
In the story, you can get into the story as a reader. Um, and it's fiction, so we're not trying to say that James is out there trying to be Nostradamus and predict
No,
but
no, but I will say
it
that
is one possibility.
in the prologue, those numbers that I have in the prologue with the layoffs in Microsoft and Amazon, and if there's a couple others, those were numbers I pulled that have already taken place.
They're happened.
I think back to there was an interview with the CEO of a company called Salesforce. If you're not familiar with the company called Salesforce, every company that's out there that is a corporation is using them or something like them. They're a company that doesn't sell a device, they sell software, they sell code. And that CEO in an interview said he is no longer hiring coders. It was $1 billion operation. When your CEO says he's not hiring any more coders because AI can do it,
If you're a computer science guy in college right now, you got to be sweating bullets, man.
if you're in college, you need to be sweating bullets.
Yeah, true. But I did enjoy the book. It was a great read. It wasn't so dark that you know what it reminded me of is like on our motorcycle rides when a bunch of dudes are sitting around talking, the stuff that happens even when things are bad, you know and the funny crap that comes out of people's mouths when it's not good.
Yeah.
Situation's pretty grim, and guys will say the funniest stuff, and it's just our defense mechanism, and that's
Yeah.
how we get through stuff, right? And so I felt that in the writing, in reading the book, and I definitely enjoyed that part of it because it did remind me of days gone by, different things that I did, and I did enjoy that. I did find it humorous though, the development of the weapon. I was like, dude, like I kept wanting to. I like, why didn't he discuss the elevation and how that knob worked? Like, you left it out, and I'm like, for example, on my loophole, I send them the round that I use and the weapon I'm using it in, and they'll send me back a custom cap. So instead of me having to count how many clicks for how many feet of elevation, I just go that freaking elk is at 500 yards. Put it on 5,
All right.
and that
Well, I'll add that in the book too.
and it's with a 300-meter zero. So if you go 300 yards, 300 yards, and you zero at 300 yards, and you send them that detail, they will send you a new cap for your scope so that you can real rapidly go, I got my rangefinder. It says 475, right? I'm going to go beep 5. I mean, it's just that quick. And now you got a holographic side scope,
Yeah.
out. You can scan your buddy's range finding. There he is. Lean in. I mean, but I'm nitpick. I'm Josh, and the weapon was that detailed that I go, that's what you left out, like that's what you left out. Like I kept reading and reading and reading. I'm like, I went back and read it like 3 times. I'm like, wait a minute. Without the optics, and you went into how important the optics were, but then I was like, you old iron sight shooting SOB. But and I did love, what every great writer would do, give me the hanger that says when's book 2 coming out, because I got to the end when the the 60 was coming over the hill, and no, that's for me, and I was like, okay, that's an abrupt departure. When are we going to see that cat again? And so anyway, I definitely enjoyed the book. I thought it was a fun read. It made it a lot more fun for me knowing you, and
Sure.
having spent so much time with you,
Sure.
I was in your head around some picnic table around a closed pool in February in the middle of friggin' Nevada somewhere,
Yeah.
having a cigar, and I could see us walking through. "No, okay, so what kind of weapon you think this cat's going to carry?" I was like, "Well, he's going to have two. He's got to have two. You got to have long and short.
Yeah.
And but it's got to be urban. You can't have no freaking 4 foot long barrel sticking out there.
Hmm.
So anyway, I could feel that conversation and really enjoy it because I know you, and I don't just know you, I know you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Exactly.
And
We've traveled.
yeah, well, we spent a lot of time together, and all very memorable. I mean, incredible trips. You know,
So yeah,
I
book
still
two is I've got the treatment done. But like everything else with my scatterbrain, it changes nightly as I lay in bed trying to go to sleep. Um, I'm probably going to take the character of Blackie, uh, and sort of put him in a little bit more of a gray area. It's not really that he's good. He's good when he wants to be.
hey
It's more of a
hey
benefit Blackie type of
we
environment.
we do horrible shit so good people don't have to. That
Exactly.
that's Blackie.
Yeah.
It might
Then that's
not
what
be
it is.
above the line, but it's probably the right thing to do.
And that's it. That's it. So
But not
I've
too
got
self-serving.
I
He's a
have
man for
some
the people.
development.
He's a man for the people.
Yeah,
Come
I'm going to
on.
do some development on that. I think that at the end of the book, uh, he tosses the keys over to Isabella and says, "Here you go, kid. Have a car."
Yeah.
I'm going to I believe that I'm going to be introducing another bad element, and that element would have had a run in with Blackie prior to all of this and recognize the car and then target Isabella because of the vehicle to where she gets kidnapped. And I'm thinking that's the sort of where I'm going with that. So
That's
that's going to be part of the conflict. The localized conflict will probably be lying in there. Um, and then looking at the structure of raid. Um, who's that third person that's missing out of Berlin that could be that key person at Side R to disengage the
dude.
uh
I freaked when I watched that movie.
oh yeah, by the way. It was a good
I was
movie. I
like,
enjoyed the movie.
I was like, all the years up there and all the threats, and you're going to jail and you're going to go to Leavenworth and make big
All the
rocks and
NDAs
little
that I've
rocks.
signed.
And I'm watching this movie and I'm like, are you kidding me? The next thing you know, they're going to start slash mentioning things after TSSCI, and I'm like what? It surprised me, buddy. So my roommate from when I first got stationed up here,
Mhm.
he and I've been friends for 39 years. And I sent him a text. I go, "Have you watched this movie yet?" And he goes, "Yeah." Who's getting fired?
Mhm.
Like, who's going to jail? And I was like, I mean, he only retired a couple years ago. He was up there a
Ain't
lot
nobody
longer
going to
than us.
jail. If you can do a group text with a reporter on what your battle plans are for going after some terrorists, I don't think anything inside ours really off limits.
Dude, I was shocked. I mean, I was shocked because
Well, I
it
remember there
wasn't
was a
just
book that came out. There was a book that was like a fiction book came out.
I
It had to
I
be
know
20 years ago, and
that guy did get fired.
but
That
they
guy
got
got in a
into
lot.
some detail,
That guy
like
got in a lot of trouble.
past the blast door
He
detail.
got in a lot of trouble.
I would hope so,
He
because
got
he
in a
just
lot of
laid
trouble.
it all out there. Oh,
He
here's
got
what
in a
my
lot of
house
trouble.
looks like inside the mountain. What? Yeah,
Yeah, he yeah.
there was some fabrication on some stuff that, you know, it's not like it's a complete city inside there with Main Street and everything else. Uh, that's the way it was sort of portrayed, but it's a little different than that.
I can't even agree or disagree with you. That's how programmed I am not to say anything. Like the freaking AI engine you just wrote about sitting here
Oh,
scrolling
see,
through my
now you're
podcast going boop, 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 boop.
that's right. Your screen just went all kinds of crazy and your voice dropped. So
They're
obviously they've
listening.
got you. They're you need to use that VPN because they're fucking watching
I
you.
told you. I didn't say anything. I didn't confirm or deny nothing. But
I'm just repeating what's in that book. I
the
can't
guy
even remember what
definitely
book that was.
he definitely described it in a little bit more detail. The overhead picture, uh, you know,
Oh, the flyover at the end of the movie. Oh,
yeah,
by the way, we're talking about a movie that's on Netflix. It's called The House of Dynamite or House of Dynamite. It's it's very entertaining. It will make you, for me, with watching that movie, it really made me think, all right, what really will take place in 20 minutes from launch to detonation of a long range nuclear missile that gets fired off of the Asian peninsula? Because that's all it'll take, 20 minutes, 2025, somewhere in there. How
well,
much
it,
information really gets released in that 20 minutes?
that thing was in the air before detection, so it had already been into it. You know what I mean? The launch was detected, and if you notice in the movie, the arc, the damn thing was
Yeah,
here.
it already, yeah, because they
I'm
lost
like,
the one
I'm like,
satellite.
hey, it's 40% the way here when you said, hey, there's been a launch. Because I mean,
Yeah.
these things are flying at incredible speeds, but uh, yeah, and then they fire the ground to surface to air interceptors. The guy goes trying to hit a bullet with a bullet, and then you hear the guy go, "Yeah, it failed." The most real scene in that whole thing was when that major, was he a major captain?
Hmm.
He went outside and puked.
Yeah. I like when the
Uh,
sec def walked off the side of the building because he had nothing to live for.
yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, good movie. A couple spoiler alerts for you.
Just a couple. But anyway, if you get a chance, go out and find James's book.
On
Maybe you get
Amazon.
lucky. Maybe you get lucky, and he'll sign one for you and send it to you with a signature on it.
Yeah, you can send it to me. I'll send it back to you. Just reach out to jmattbooks at gmail.com
I didn't
or
think I had to
Fuel
do that.
Stop Chats.
I thought maybe I'd get one anyway, just because. Jesus.
My dad asked me last night, when am I getting that book? I was like, as soon as you freaking order one. Come on, what is this? I'm giving away free books to everybody.
Come
Come
on,
on, you
man.
said you're going to send me one.
Editorial comments.
I will get you one, my brother.
Um,
Signed.
yep. I thought it was good, man. I enjoyed it. I'm looking
Actually, you
forward
know
to
what? I will send you this one that is a not for sale release
better,
before I made the changes that are out there in public. I will
even
sign
better.
this one and send it to you
Because I have
because if
Rev
I
one,
ever get if I ever
Rev
get picked
two.
up,
Yeah.
that would be the limited edition money copy. Then you
Like I
could
said,
sell it
man,
and
I
make
got the
money.
transcripts and a couple of emails. So I got the whole history there. I enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
it. I think it's a fun read. Um, I thought the humor that was, again, I know you. I expected it. It was there. So the typical people ask me that all the time is like, these guys make some of the most sick jokes in the most weird times, and it's like, well, what
Nope.
exactly would you talk about to break tension?
Yep.
Like you you're gonna get whacked in about 3 minutes. Like, what do you want to talk about?
The first thing that would pop in my head when the one guy gets, his leg screwed up and the other guy goes over and he's like, well, your NFL career's over.
Yeah.
Your NFL kicking career's over. And his reply is like, dick. It just,
Yeah.
that's, to me,
So
that's a
so spot
conversation
on.
that has happened 20 times over.
Absolutely. I'll never forget when they gave us the GDP when I was in Europe, and they said, you guys you're the largest at the time. We were the largest mechanized infantry division in the Army. And they said, they told us what our GDP was. And that movie came out and they said, why, has been overrun at the Fulda Gap. And I was like, for fuck's sake. I mean, you got about 13 minutes, bro. And
Yep.
do you know what we talked about? We talked about
Beer.
busting the doors. Seriously, going down, there's a Porsche dealer right outside the gate. I said, I'm thinking that I could get there faster if I was in a better vehicle. The
Well,
Deuce,
yeah.
it's just a little slow. So I thought, well, I'll just go through there and whoosh, take that glass out, go in and grab me a key, and take a joyride for about 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So other guys were concerned about the raid on the beer machine down in the lobby. That was a big concern. It's like, is that thing been stocked? Are we all going to have to ration? How many bottles does everybody have in their room in the barracks? I'm living off base. I gotta, yeah, that's what guys talk about. I was thinking
So,
about, a guy that, a buddy of mine that passed away unexpectedly in a horrible situation where his wife was actually there,
oh, Jesus.
and I'm kneeling down over this guy, and
Fucking bringing down the fucking podcast, man. God
well,
damn.
he says right before he died, he goes, "Hey, did you call timeout?"
What sucks is that I couldn't understand a word that you just said because your shit's
Your
all jacked
screen
up.
went black. It just went. I'm kneeling over him trying to figure out if I need to give him CPR or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the very last thing he said to me was, "Hey, did you remember to call timeout?" And then he died. Oh man, it sucked. Went to the hospital. They were still trying to do some stuff, and I speak fluent German, so I'm listening to these guys talk. And she's like, "What are they saying? What are they saying?" And I'm like, "Do I want to translate this, or do I just want to wait?" It was a
Mm-hmm.
really weird.
Yeah, they're saying
I'll
words you
never.
don't want to hear right now.
I never will forget Jimmy looking up at me going, "Did you remember to call timeout?" Oh man. So get the
Yes.
book, get out
Yep.
and ride in the fall.
Yep.
What else? Go see the museum in Birmingham, the Barber Museum. Boy, oh
Oh,
boy.
yeah. If you've never been, you have to go.
It's
If you can go, look at some of the different things that are going on there. I know in October they have like the vintage swap meet
yep.
where it's acres upon acres of people just setting up their booths, and there's old motorcycle parts and gas tanks and seats and just great people to
Yeah.
go and have a conversation with. And then they do the vintage races. So they have
Yeah.
the vintage, bikes out there racing on the barber track. And then you catch, take a day, because it is a whole day. You can
It's
very easily use
daylight
an entire day inside that
daylight
museum.
to dark. Daylight to dark day. Long day.
Yeah, I remember Ty and I had stopped there, and he was like, "What are we doing in a museum? What is this?" And he didn't have a clue what it was. I was like,
Oh.
"Well, I've only allotted us 6 hours." He's like, 6 hours? What are you? And then when he walked in the door, he was like, "Oh my god!"
Was the reparation and uh refurbishing plant, basement, was it open for
No,
you
the
guys?
basement was closed.
You got to be able to sneak down there. I didn't know this at the time. I knew about that because I'd watched a documentary on them, and the guy said it's generational sometimes redoing these bikes back to the way they
Mm-hmm.
were because they run. The bikes that are in that museum run. They're not
Every
just
single one.
sitting there. They actually, it's like Dale Wexler, at the Wheels Through Time Museum, and on his 60th birthday, somebody made a challenge. He started every bike in his museum, you know,
Yep.
and these guys are pretty proud of the fact that everything in here runs, you know. Um,
Well,
but I
not
didn't
everything is
know.
done by them. Not everything is done by them because I know
For,
I was on a conference call. I was talking about the Barber, and this guy was just like, "Yeah, I've got two Ducatis in there right now." I was like, "Wait, what?"
that's right. There's
He's like,
concern,
"Yeah, I rebuilt them and I sent it." He goes, "I'm working on a 56 Ducati in the back right now. I don't know what the year was, but it was like an old one. Maybe it was a
Yeah,
76." And he's like, "Yeah, it's in my garage right now. I'm working on that one. I'll be sending it to him hopefully within 3 months." I was like, "Good Lord."
yeah, yeah, yeah. The craftsmen. I mean, but these artisan, you know, uh, restorations are just incredible. But yeah, definitely take a chance to go see that, and don't be a stranger. Go back every 2-3 years and check it out. They post a calendar online. To James's point, you can go see like what's going on around there. On pick a weekend where they're doing a swap and a ride, and you'll meet some interesting cats,
Hmm.
as us motorcyclists are.
Yeah.
But and then Pat, if you're listening, we've got about a week, and we can get out for a little bit, have breakfast, go for a fall ride. Let's see what else, man. Get the book, get the book, get the book, get the book.
Yeah. Silence and the Signals. Get the book.
I'm getting ready to be unemployed for a couple months.
Oh, you're waiting. You can't wait for it.
It's tough, man, working 9 months out of the year.
It
It's
is
you know, I
like a
I got
teacher.
I mean, yeah. Uh I got heat in the garage now. So just yesterday, Saturday, my son-in-law tailpipe breaks loose from the hanger,
Hmm.
and he goes, "Do you mind if I come over and use the garage and put it up on the lift?" And I
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, we can even weld it back on." Dad gave me
Sure.
his Hobart 187
Oh.
MIG welder, so took a whiz wheel, cleaned it all up real good, stuck it back together,
Yeah.
and
I
it
mean,
was fun to be
quickly
able
for
to do
that.
that. Really fun to be able to do that. I got a couple of projects in mind I want to do. So that's what I do like in the winter. If I had a little bit more free cash, I was going to get an engine stand, take the 350 out, and see if it could be. Do I need to re-ring it, or do I need to just start new with a new block? But um, I was thinking about something mild cam, 400 crank, couple of new heads, make it a 383 stroker, and throw it back in. But so many projects, launching the deck thing, thinking about maybe creating some shelf like walkable, but use the deck
Hmm.
material so people could come in and see it and use it as a modified showroom floor. So I don't know. We'll be busy doing something out there this winter, but
Plowing snow. Make a little money out that way.
man, we just don't get that much snow anymore. I think that I don't even know if I took the mower deck off the tractor last year. I think I put the blade on.
Really?
Yeah, we got like if it don't. I mean, we don't own two-wheel drive vehicles.
Yeah.
So if it snows 4 or 5 inches, I mean, I don't even plow the driveway. Like my wife goes, well, what happens if so and so can't get up the driveway when they come over to play cards? They can walk. It's not that far. It's like I got to go plow my driveway because the neighbor doesn't have a yeah.
It's 50
But
yards. Come on.
yeah, I mean, just walk. I mean, that's what we would have done in the old days.
Hmm.
But she's like, now we're old and you should clear the driveway. It's like okay. But it is nice having a couple of months off to go think about what you're going to do next year, or whatever.
Write a book, man. I'll read it for you.
My kids keep after me all the time. It's like, Dad, you tell great stories. You should write it down. Write that stuff down. Put it in a book.
You
And
should.
I'm like, oh my gosh. I got a daughter that's an English teacher, and I just can't. She would just have so much fun with she. Oh, Dad, red pen everywhere. I don't know what I'd write about. I thought about writing something uh, along the lines of uh, not Ghostwriter, but just stories from the road from all the trips. Mix
Yeah.
in some pictures, almost like a coffee table book where you've got a
Yeah.
lot of pictures, a little bit of words, you know, but some cool pictures from all the trips we've taken and
You've got
some
them.
captions, funny stories. I thought about putting something together like that. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Uh,
You should do it, brother.
but man, there's so much stuff I have on my plate. I can't even. But all good stuff.
Well, good deal, man. Well, hopefully we'll be having a new guest here coming on shortly. Trying to figure out another author, except he's like at the
New York
Simon and
Times
Schuster level.
bestseller.
Yeah, he's up there. So more to come on that. I'm not going to give out any names or anything, but he does have a new book coming out in December, in which we're supposed to be getting some copies of. We can read it, but
Sweet.
he is also a motorcycle rider. So I'm looking forward to being able to hopefully get this guy on here, and we can go from there.
I'm looking forward to it. I was excited. I was really excited when the press agent came back with absolutely.
Oh yeah, for the free books.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
pretty encouraging.
all right, man. Well, I'm gonna kick up the closer here. See if I can do this without screwing it up. Another great show, man. Always fun just catching up. It really is. I never get to see you aside from this, but I'm glad that I get this at least to connect with you. And when you don't get to see one of your best friends, I'm just thankful that we have this and that we put this together. So with that, I will say right or out.
Rider out, bro. I feel the same way.